Have you ever noticed the exact moment a thought is born? Before a memory appears, before an emotion takes hold, before the mind begins telling another story, there is something quietly watching. According to the ancient sages of India, that silent witness is your true nature. Meditation begins with discovering that witness. Today, meditation is often promoted as a way to reduce stress or improve focus. While those benefits are real, the Hindu tradition describes meditation as something far deeper. It is not merely a relaxation technique. It is a path to realizing the consciousness that exists beyond the restless mind. The Arshi, you never asked people to believe this blindly. They encouraged direct experience. In this journey, we'll explore how the Ved, the Upanishad, and Maharshi Patanjali's Yoga Sutras explain meditation, how awareness evolves from Dharana to Dhyana, and finally to Samadhi, and how these timeless teachings can still guide us today. So let us travel back to the forests where the ancient sages sat in silence, not seeking wealth or power, but asking one question: who am I? Meditation is one of humanity's oldest spiritual disciplines. Long before modern mindfulness became popular, the sages of India explored the deepest layers of consciousness. The Rigveda speaks of inner vision, a wisdom discovered not through the senses, but through profound stillness. The Upanishad explain that the mind is constantly pulled outward by sights, sounds, desires, and memories. As long as awareness remains trapped in this endless movement, lasting peace remains out of reach. But when attention gently turns inward, something remarkable begins to unfold. The Mandukya Upanishad describes 4 states of consciousness: the waking state, the dream state, deep sleep, and Turiya, the 4th state that silently exists behind all experience. Turiya is not another thought or emotion. It is the awareness in which every thought, feeling, and experience appears and disappears. Meditation is not about creating this awareness. It is about recognizing what has always been present. Centuries later, Maharshi Patanjali organized this wisdom into the Yoga Sutras, outlining the 8 limbs of yoga: Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Notice where meditation appears, not at the beginning, but near the end. Before meditation becomes possible, the body must become steady, the breath balanced, the senses disciplined, and the mind capable of remaining focused. A disturbed mind cannot enter deep meditation through force alone. The ancient masters compared the mind to the surface of a lake. When the water is constantly disturbed, it cannot reflect the moon clearly. But when it becomes perfectly still, the reflection appears effortlessly. The mind functions in the same way. As its endless movements begin to settle, it reflects the deeper reality that was always hidden beneath its waves. That is why meditation is not an escape from the world. It is a return to your own deepest nature. The stages of meditation. If meditation is not the first step, what comes before it? The yogic tradition describes 3 progressive stages: Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. They are not separate practices, but successive depths of the same inner journey. The first stage is Dharana, or concentration. Here, the mind is gently anchored to a single point: your breath, the sound of Om, a sacred image, or the silent question, who am I? The goal is not to stop thinking. Thoughts will arise, memories will surface, the mind will wander. This is completely natural. The practice is simply to notice the distraction and return your attention without frustration. Patanjali defines dharana as fixing the mind on one chosen point. Each time you return, your attention grows stronger. With steady practice, something begins to change. The effort slowly disappears. The mind no longer has to be pulled back repeatedly. Attention begins to flow on its own. This effortless, uninterrupted awareness is called Dhyana. The sages compared it to a stream of oil flowing smoothly without breaking. In Dhyana, time begins to fade. The constant inner dialogue becomes quieter, and instead of being carried away by every thought, you begin observing them like clouds passing across the sky. This reveals one of the greatest insights of meditation. Thoughts change, emotions change, the body changes, but the silent witness behind them remains unchanged. The Upanishad describe this witness as the eternal self, untouched by success or failure, pleasure or pain. As meditation deepens, even the feeling of "I am meditating" begins to dissolve. Only pure awareness remains. This naturally leads to the final stage, Samadhi. The word Samadhi means complete absorption. Here, the separation between the observer and the object of meditation disappears. Patanjali describes it as a state where only the object of awareness shines, while the sense of an individual meditator fades away. The tradition speaks of different depths of Samadhi. In the beginning, a subtle sense of individuality still remains, even though the mind has become profoundly peaceful. As absorption deepens, even that final trace of separation disappears. This is not sleep. It is not unconsciousness. It is complete wakefulness beyond the ordinary activity of the mind. Yet there is a paradox. The more intensely you chase Samadhi, the further it seems. Why? Because every desire creates movement in the mind, and a restless mind cannot discover complete stillness. That is why the Yoga Sutras emphasize two essential qualities: Abhyas, steady practice, and Vairagya, non-attachment. Meditation is not about forcing extraordinary experiences. It is about creating the right conditions. When the mind becomes calm, clear, and free from constant grasping, silence reveals itself naturally, just as the sun appears when the clouds drift away. How to practice meditation? How can an ordinary person begin this journey? The ancient teachings were never meant only for monks living in forests. Many great seekers were householders who balanced family, work, and spiritual practice. Meditation was never about escaping life. It was about transforming the way life is experienced. The first step is consistency. Choose a quiet place where you can sit every day. The scriptures recommend the early morning hours, known as Brahm Muhurt, when the mind is naturally calm. Evening meditation is equally valuable if practiced regularly. Sit comfortably with your spine upright and your body relaxed. Then bring your attention to the breath. Don't try to control it. Simply observe each inhalation and exhalation. Whenever the mind wanders, gently bring it back. Every return strengthens awareness. As your practice deepens, you may choose a single focus, a mantra like Aum or Soham, the Gayatri mantra, the image of your chosen deity, or simply the feeling of silent awareness. The important thing is consistency. Depth comes not from changing techniques, but from staying with one practice long enough for it to transform you. Gradually, you will notice subtle changes. The mind becomes quieter. Emotions no longer control you so easily. You begin responding with clarity instead of reacting out of habit. These are the true signs of progress. Meditation is not measured by mystical visions or supernatural experiences. Its real fruit is a calmer mind, a compassionate heart, and the ability to remain steady through both joy and difficulty. The Bhagavad Gita describes such a person as one who remains balanced in success and failure, pleasure and pain. The ancient sages summarized this entire path in one profound teaching. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. The mind alone is the cause of bondage, and the mind alone is the doorway to liberation. When the mind constantly runs outward, it creates attachment and suffering. When it becomes still, it reveals the self that was always present. Perhaps that is meditation's greatest secret. You are not trying to become someone else. You are uncovering what has always existed beneath every thought, emotion, and identity. So the next time you close your eyes, don't search for extraordinary experiences. Simply watch. Watch your breath. Watch your thoughts. Notice the silence between them. Then ask yourself the same question that inspired the ancient sages. Who is aware of all this? Don't rush to answer it. Remain with the question. Because meditation is not about finding something outside yourself. It is about recognizing the silent witness that has been present through every moment of your life. The light you seek is already within. Meditation does not create it. It simply removes the distractions that hide it. And perhaps your journey inward begins with this very breath.